So when we first moved here, like the agent or the person that was helping us like introduced us to Rewa, and they're like you can meet other like people that are in the same situation.
REWA / youth program is a youth program that serves ELL students, BIPOC students.
I'm an academic case manager for Spanish-speaking families. I'm the instructor for the program, so I do a lot of curriculum planning, and I lead the classes and help plan field trips.
Grade levels 3 through 8 are usually in the classroom in the STEAM program: science, technology, engineering, art, and math.
We meet for 2 hours twice a week. In the first hour, we do homework help, tutoring, some social emotional learning things, and then we move on to a STEM or art activity that they do hands-on.
How was it shifting to the American education system?
I think it was like pretty similar to back home, except we just like use the same school but different times.
REWA is huge on inclusivity, and I think one specific way the youth department has done that is through an equity lens and understanding that our students are in different grades, that they learn differently, and that we have the opportunity to speak with teachers on behalf of the students to find out where we can help them.
I think school is just hard. We have some kids that really struggle with language, or they'll say they're not good at something, but they are really good at it. It's just that English is not catching up to where they are.
Personally, I'm still learning the language, so it's kind of pretty difficult. It's all in English, and I tried using the translating app, but they don't, because we speak Nama, so they don't have that on there. My freshman year was just I'm just going with the flow.
A lot of times what we run into is with people coming out of schools and training, they only know the language that they were trained in. It's not like these guys are just going to write code and see what it does. It's what do I want it to do? And structures like this make it really easy to do it almost non-verbally. Your English isn't great, your reading isn't great, doing color-based things can be really helpful.
You're balancing two worlds. These kids are really kind of figuring out their cultural identity and how to balance that as they're learning a new language and kind of different way of life. While you were in the youth program, did you notice any differences between the responsibilities of girls and boys?
No.
I have not seen those differences. All of the students either identify in our program as she, her, or he, him. And so we've had body image presentations for them. And so if they identify as girl, they have the volunteers speaking to body image as it relates to them, and boys, the same thing.
Have you noticed that cultural differences have kind of impacted?
Yes. I don't know that it's cultural based as much as individual based, and they actually have a lot more responsibilities. They take a lot of responsibilities for their younger siblings, and they bring them to the program, so I think that's kind of cool. I think there's a lot of shyness on some of them, and there are some that are exceptionally bright, but they're sometimes there's the interaction between what assertive looks like for a white male, or even males in general, versus females. But at a younger age, they don't actually sometimes tell the difference between being assertive and bullying a little bit.
How have families responded to their daughters, one, going to jobs in general, and two, potentially going into fields that might be considered a man's job?
Mm-hmm. I would definitely say that parents are more open to seeing girls working with our STEAM program because they're learning. And I think all parents, no matter what your background is, they want their kids to learn.
My dad initially wanted me to become a doctor. I'm scared of needles, so I don't know why he thought it would be yeah, this is a good career for you. But I just explained to him this is what I want to do and stuff. My mom was very supportive from the beginning.
So what made you want to become a pilot?
So it's been my dream ever since I was a child. I met a representative from the Museum of Flight, and then she just told me a program at the Museum of Flight. It's called Aeronautical Science Pathway Program. So I started that my senior year. I'm working on my bachelor's, and I got my private pilot and instrument pilot.
What would you say to other young women / girls wanting to go into the STEAM program or become a pilot?
I say, go for it. It's very hard and the process is very long. So you just have to be patient.
They're so resilient and just such great kids, and we love working with them.
I think these kids definitely need help with a lot of confidence, just as they live in an digital age where they're always comparing themselves and always stimulated. I think it leads to a lot of imposter syndrome.
I really want them to know that they are human and they are just like you, who wants to not only survive, they want to thrive. They want to have their basic necessities met so that they can focus on what makes their dreams come alive and where they feel most purposeful.